warm welcome to the Open Treasury podcast, your go-to source for the latest news and analysis in corporate cash and treasury management. This show is brought to you by CTMfile.com and the Treasury News Network, where treasury professionals learn and share the information that matters most.
Hello and welcome to the Open Treasury Podcast. This is Craig Jeffrey, your host for this very abbreviated Open Treasury Podcast. This is being released at the end of December between Christmas and New Year's Day. We've let all the podcast guests have off because we aren't that mean. And we aren't covering any of the Treasury, inflation, risk stories you have come to love on the weekly Open Treasury Podcast. For those who are listening to this podcast, please know we appreciate your attention to this podcast and to CTMfile, which can be found at CTMfile.com. Your participation matters to us greatly. We took over the reins from Jack Large in August of 2021 and have been greatly encouraged by his continued leadership, guidance, and unique views on all things Treasury. Thank you, Jack. So what's happening with CTMfile in 2023? Knowing what's new and what's continuing and what our plans are may be on your mind. It's on our mind as well. So here's a few items to give you a preview into 2023. From a website for CTMfile, we're having another refresh. You've probably noticed some changes to the website early in 2021, and then another refresh a few months back. We provided a simplified banner for better messaging. We reduced the main menu from over a dozen options to, I think, 6. So this provides for easier navigation and finding things. And then also, we've made a more visible search bar. We found that we shouldn't hide it in the background, especially with a site that is quite literally named File, a place to store data, to share data, to search for and find the right type of information and insights. So the bar is back. It's at the top. Search away and take advantage of the cash and treasury management file. Also on the website, a few more changes will be rolled out shortly with more images and a reduction in the amount of text showing on the main page. Will be more visually pleasing and accessible. So thank you for bearing with us as we continue to spruce up the place. A second area on CTMfile is learn and share. When we have the overall theme of CTMfile is to learn and share the latest news and analysis in corporate treasury. Learn has always been a massive strength of the platform, from demos to web chats to articles, all the way to the financial news curation. CTMfile has long been a place to learn on a daily basis or for a specific need or task that you're working on. The share part, this is the ability for more voices, ideas, and organizations to pass on their thoughts, ideas, leading practices, whether it's done audibly, in written form, or a video. This has been a growing desire of ours for this platform, but it's also been a growing reality. So a few articles a month have been appearing in the latter half of 2022. And as we move through 2023, expect this to escalate and to expand. There'll be more views, more voices, more people, more contrast, and we believe more value. So stay connected. And for those who aren't familiar with Strategic Treasure, I'm the managing partner of Strategic Treasure. We're a consulting advisory firm and a research firm that owns CTMfile. You can go to strategictreasure.com. The show notes have the links and connections. Strategic Treasure also hosts a podcast on a handle called the Treasury Update Podcast. This is an extremely popular podcast in the finance space, particularly within Treasury. So please subscribe there and see if you find the weekly series helpful, the coffee break sessions, which are twice a month if you find them informative, and various special series such as Becoming a New Treasurer, New Trends, if you find that useful in your thinking and on the job. Again, and finally, thank you for your support over this past year, and we look forward to a great 2023. Cheers, take care, Happy New Year.
This podcast is provided for information purposes only, and statements made by CTMfile or guests on this podcast are not intended as legal, business, or consulting advice. For more information, visit ctmfile.com.